Okay, we're live. Welcome to the Ask Me Anything Sunday night show. You see, every time it seems to be very difficult for me to pronounce the full sentence of this thing. But fundamentally, this is Jason. What we do here is we go live for half an hour every Sunday night at 10 p.m. to answer your questions about Facebook advertising. So if you're watching this live, please drop by and say hi. If you really feel that, oh, you have got some really interesting questions that you want to ask, you want to invite your friends to come and join me, share the live to everyone else out there. Now, yo, Chiwai, really, I really appreciate that you're here every single live that I am in right now. Right? I think you actually join me every time I go live. Yeah, thank you so much for the support. Now, questions. If you have any questions regarding Facebook advertising, type away in the comment section below. And if you're even watching this, if you're watching the replay, which is completely fine, you can still type your questions because I'll be picking up your question and I will answer them in the future so-called Ask Me Anything Sunday night show. So I've picked up a few questions over here. Let me bring up the screen. Now, meanwhile, while I'm doing this, right, post your questions, post them away. No problem at all. Just post them away, all right? So the first question that we have here is from Arif. Okay, Arif was asking, okay, after running the ads for about a week, you want to change the picture in the slide, meaning that, for those who learn from our two-step funnel framework, you know that we've been using slideshow and all that, right? So basically what we do here is that we combine multiple images to create a slideshow. Why? Because I prefer to use video for my tier 1 campaign visual. Why? Because I wanted it to be something that I can actually capture the intent without even needing them to click on the ad. So if you're familiar with my two-step funnel framework, I will be actually having two ads running simultaneously. The tier 1 ad is really to find the audiences with the right intent by qualifying them, and then I will bring them to the tier 2 advertisement to show them more information about the product or services to really kind of like prime them and of course to convert them. So yeah, so basically if you are changing visual in the slide, meaning that you in the slideshow you want to change the visual, you want to change the image, your question here is it advisable to change the picture or just create a new? And my answer is very simple. Everything, you see, when it comes to our two-step funnel framework or even my campaign nesting mechanism, fundamentally what we do here is that we nest the campaign within the same we nest campaigns with according to objective. Let's say, for example, if you're building a traffic campaign, right? And then after that, with the traffic campaign, under each you have multiple ad sets. And then after that, you have multiple ads. So what we want to do here is we want to keep everything under one because we want to actually maintain the data as we move along, right? So when you are making changes, what I would suggest here is that if you want to make so-called significant change to your campaign, I suggest you to duplicate. So what we do here is that, let's say under the campaign, you have the ad set. Under the ad set, you have the ad, right, which is the creative. Now, if you want to do significant change, something like, what do we mean by significant change? Meaning that you are changing by changing the picture in the slideshow, you're changing the whole slideshow again. So that is a significant change. If you're changing the lead form or something like that, that is also a significant change. Now, whenever you're doing significant change to your campaign or to your ad or to your ad set, okay, it's going to re-trigger the learning anyway. So I would say, since you're re-triggering the learning, might as well you duplicate under the same campaign and ad set, you duplicate the ad and you change it to the new. You update the new one, the duplicated one. Why? Because we want to keep the data of the old ad so that that, after you run this for a week or so, then you know that by comparison, is this new ad doing better than the old ad? And if it's not, what is really missing? Is this a CTR not doing well? Is this a CPM not doing well? At least you have all the data that you can actually work on, right? So that's for Arif. Thank you so much. Now, okay, then I want to come back to the so-called to the chat row over here. Now, hey, Gamerscroll, welcome in. Now, Gamerscroll is also another good friend that you have been with us for a while. Now, you have a question. With my expertise, am I confident of selling anything on Facebook? I cannot say that, but I have sold quite a number of things, to be frank. As crazy as a burial plot. Yeah, I've done this for a memorial park, and as tiny as something like a very cheap thing. So I think if you actually if you actually do it right, there must be a way to sell, but you might actually need to tweak a little bit here and there to see whether how do you find the best combination. But fundamentally, in my opinion, not everything can be sold on Facebook, to be frank. That's what I think. However, what we can do here is that, let's say, for example, like the same example that I gave you, right, last week, as we work on a precision manufacturing company. Precision manufacturing. Sorry, I'm so bad at this pronunciation thing. So what they do is they do this precision machinery. So what they need to find is those, is really the people who work in some machine manufacturing company, where they want to find the purchasers and all this kind of thing. So what we do is we use other platform to capture the intent. And then after that, we use Facebook and Instagram to do the retargeting, if not all, but part of it. So just, at least we want to see if this could be part of a very good marketing mix where we can actually get good result out of it. But to be frank, in my opinion, not everything can be sold on Facebook, but you just have to see whether you can actually use Facebook as part of a so-called the funnel that you're building across the digital marketing landscape. So that's what I think. All right, but thanks for the question. Shiva is saying, just in case Manfred lazy, huh? Okay. Let me see when Manfred wants to take off, then you can come in and take his place. But let me inform Manfred about this thing. Hey Wing, hey, what's up? Hey, Wing is a good friend, and I'm talking to Wing to actually develop a course to talk about how do we optimize Shopee listing. So if you sell on Shopee, meaning that if you sell on Shopee, then how Wing is gonna create a course, together with me to teach you how to develop, how to really optimize. So what are the things that you need to do in terms of creative, in terms of copywriting? How do you create a good listing on Shopee? So Wing is gonna teach that, but we're gonna work together on these things. So basically, you want to stay tuned about these coming courses. I think if we can, we're gonna do this in April if it's possible. Wing, thanks for dropping by. And Summer, how are you, man? I'm good. Thanks. You face this problem. Tier 2 performance dropped significantly this week. Now, okay, when you say your Tier 2 ads performance dropped significantly, you want to examine from a few things. So the first thing is whether did you actually capture the right audiences in. Why? Because you might have changed your Tier 1 creative, and then you have new video, but you did not update your Tier 2 audiences, as in the retargeting audiences. That's why it didn't bring in new audiences. That's why it dropped. Why? Because you didn't have the audience. Now, the second reason is probably because it's either the CPM is affected or the CTR is affected. So Summer, I would suggest that you go in and investigate the campaign. But Summer, are you in my JIC? If you're in my JIC, then we can schedule a one-on-one to really go through to see what's going on with your campaign. But nonetheless, if you need help, you can let me know. We can actually, because you can sign up to the one-on-one on a separate package if you need help. But fundamentally, there must be some reason that your Tier 2 is not working that we can definitely find. But go through, if you're in my FAA, go through the analytics course that we have to see whether if there is anything that you can actually capture in terms of the data to verify what is going on, right? So let's see how can we do this. Summer, but thanks for sharing. Chiwa is asking, okay, you have an interesting situation. Campaign running few months, same objective, just different creative. Client want to achieve more, so create increase budget, 20% increase, okay. So I increased 20% on the existing ad set or recreate same setting but with a new increased budget. I would say just increase on the same ad set. Yeah, because you want to carry the historical data as in like the moving on. So yeah, precision. So yeah, so that's what I think, Chiwai. What I would do is I would actually increase the budget on the same ad set because you want to carry the historical data. But thanks for the question. And you're saying that precision measurement, precision machinery, I think. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, you get the idea, but thanks, Chiwai. And the digital run channel was asking, how does someone buy a follower database and implant into Facebook account? With the implanted data, will it disrupt how Facebook learning when we run ads campaign? Meaning that you implant, what do you mean implant? You mean that you import that as a custom audience, meaning that you import the database as in phone number, email addresses as custom audiences, and then you use that to run ads. Now, this is what I think. Okay, recently, one of my students reported that when they actually, import the data into Facebook on the custom audience side, their ad account got disabled. So what I was asking that I did not get response from her yet is, was that a purchase database? And did you actually, was anyone, probably, I'm not sure, this could be some scenario that is not advisable. What I think here is that if you're buying database and all that, I do not advise you to actually put it in. But nonetheless, some of my students actually tried that in one way or another. I wouldn't say that I encourage this thing, but I wouldn't recommend to actually use anything that is purchased or bought, especially when it comes to database. But when you talk about theoretically, when you import, let's say, for example, you bought some high quality database and import into your custom audience and you use that as retargeting, or you use that to create lookalike audiences, fundamentally, theoretically, it does affect the performance of the campaign. Yeah, that's what I think. But thanks for the question. Yeah, and then let's see. Let me bring back to the question that I have over here before I go over yours, because we have quite a number of questions over here. Okay, let me see. So, right, now then that's Arif's question. Then the next question we have here is, shall we put in interest to run lookalike audiences ads? Okay, when you're doing lookalike audiences, fundamentally, it has been, okay, put it this way. First thing first, it has to be, lookalike audiences must be created from high quality custom audiences, meaning that you won't be able to create lookalike audiences from other people's website visitors, other people's Facebook pages, followers and all that, right? You must create lookalike audiences based on your own custom audiences, meaning that, at least people who visited your website, or if you can, the higher quality means those people who actually purchase from your website. So that's the first thing. I will always go for purchase if I have the choice. Now, when I say I have the choice means if I have more than 1,000 people who purchase, then I have the opportunity to import. And if I'm able to match up to 1,000 or more, then I'll be able to use it, because the minimum seed audience size for custom audience to create high quality lookalike audience is actually 1,000. So if I have higher quality, I'll always go for that. So basically, let's say when I'm using a lookalike audiences, when I'm creating a lookalike audience based on people who purchase, that is a very high quality. Then what I would usually do is I would try not to put in any interest. That's my practice. I don't put in any interest. If I were to put in anything also, I would put in minimum number of interests, as in the detailed targeting. Why? Because you want to let the lookalike audiences really take an effect, because another thing that Facebook talks about is about the campaign liquidity, where you want to let the machine learning to really kind of like find people who might take the same action again. So you want to actually let it go through a bit of a learning to see whether you are able to continuously learn and get you better result. Get you better result. So when I use lookalike of higher quality lookalike, I would actually frequently, most of the time, I won't be putting in any detailed targeting options. So that's what I think. If I were to put in anything, but minimal, I won't be putting in like a chunk, like 50 over of them. That's not what I do. All right, but TC, thanks for the question. And the other question that I have is from Dindo. Dindo is I think Dindo, right? I cannot read this, but anyway, you have been watching for a while right now, but thanks. Aside from videos that have been watched for X seconds or Y% complete, okay? So this is a lookalike audience. This is a custom audience based on video view. And this is why we use video as our tier 1 campaign, right? So what else can we use for retargeting? Now, basically, this is a question about what is the action that your campaign is trying to get. Let's say, for example, if you are using a traffic campaign to drive people to your website, then of course you can use website visit as retargeting. And if you're getting people to submit lead, then of course you can use people who open the lead form, that's the minimum, to actually retarget them. Or if you use instant experience, then you can actually use people who either open the instant experience or click on the instant experience to retarget them. Because to be frank, it is really about how you understand what are the custom audiences options available. That's why during my 6-day challenge, I do emphasize heavily that, you must spend time to study each and every one of the custom audiences available. You may not understand them right away, but I want you to go in and really understand what are the things that you can do with all these things. So definitely carousel ads is not one of them. Carousel ads is not one of them. However, if you use video in your carousel, then this is possible. That's why go back to your custom audiences. Take a good 2 to 3 hours if you need that. Just go through every single thing that is available and see what are the options that you can use. Because the more you look at it, the more you understand it. All right, but thanks for the question, Dindo. Now, let me come back to this. Summer was saying our data, the audience, the CPM is still getting higher. Then you want to monitor other things such as your frequency, your CTR, and then to see whether are you actually using a very strict retargeting options bringing in. You want to probably loosen it up. There are many angles, Summer, but don't worry. If you're not in JIC, then just test it, and yeah, you know what you are doing definitely, because I think you're running an agency, right, Summer? But yeah, just try that. Thanks. And yeah, okay, Chiwa is saying clear your thoughts, no problem. And Digital Run is saying they buy followers. Now, when you say they buy followers, then I would say that this is really not a wise thing to do. Why? Because when you say you buy followers, meaning that you buy people who like your page, meaning that you buy those fake likes, fake fans kind of thing. First thing first, I actually have witnessed so many times that let's say a page with 100,000 likes would suddenly lose at least 20 to 30,000 of their likes in overnight. Why? Because Facebook do constantly purge those so-called fake accounts and all this kind of thing. They do that from time to time. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, if you buy followers, then I would actually warn you one thing, because when you're buying the wrong people to like your page, first thing first, you can't make them unlike you. You get what I mean? You can't let them go anymore. So moving forward, your organic reach is gonna be like super crazy damn low. Why? Because these people don't view your thing, and eventually it's gonna affect the whole overall performance of your Facebook page as well. So why? The number of likes doesn't mean anything, in my opinion, if you're not getting the right people to like your page. Like I gave you an example before this. I'm not sure whether you have heard this now. Back then there was a I wouldn't say it's a coachee, but it's like a student who did something with me. Then what they did was they were opening a restaurant in Singapore, right? But what they wanted to do here is they want to grow page like first, because they believe that when a page with a lot of likes, meaning that people will be like kind of like interested, and it will build that kind of social proof. And you know what happened? Because buying likes in Singapore is so expensive, meaning that, not to say buying likes, running ads to grow likes in Singapore. This is really the legit way, using Facebook ads to grow likes in Singapore. It's so expensive. And then you know what they did? The agency proposed to get them to buy likes, as in like run ads to generate likes in Malaysia. And you know what? They actually managed to get quite a number of likes on their page and all that. And when they launched the restaurant, here's the best thing. They get a lot of inquiries from the existing people who like their Facebook page, asking, when are you coming to Malaysia? When are you coming to Malaysia? When are you coming to Malaysia? Because they only launch it in Singapore, that restaurant. So you get the idea, right? So the number doesn't mean anything if they are not the right people. That's what I think. Okay, but thanks for the question. Now, okay, if you have any question at all, type in the comment. Okay, if you're watching the replay, even feel free to type them in the comment as well, because I'll be picking up your questions and I will answer them in the future AMA. All right, now, okay, I think this is what we have at the moment on the chat row. Let me go into the screen over here. Yeah, am I seeing this? Okay, so these are really the so-called the questions that I get on either my Facebook group or my YouTube channel. Now, another question from TC. What is the best ad objective to choose to increase walk-in visit to retail shop? Thank you so much for the question. Now, fundamentally, when it comes to the 11 objectives available on Facebook, there is one called the, what do we call that? There is one called the, what was that already? Oh my God, suddenly my head. Oh, store visits. Store visits means when you run store visits campaign, you'll be getting people to, either click the call to action and open up a map to navigate to your store, or you can actually get them to call you, directly instead. But based on my experience using the store visit objective, it's not really effective, at least for the Malaysia context, because when I was running this, I was doing it for a Malaysia client. Why? Because to be frank, it's very rare for a person to change. Let's say when I'm already driving, for example, when I see the ad, right, it's very difficult for me to click in right away, I want to visit you. So what I would suggest here is, TC, let's try to run some campaign to generate interest, and you probably give them a reason to visit your store. That will be a more viable way. Like, for example, just plugging the idea, because this is really live here, right? So one of the things that you can do is You can actually let them sign up via a lead form, you know, and then after that, you can do the automation and send them a voucher to tell them that, look, you can actually use this voucher to come to my store, and you know, and you can actually get X number of % of discount buying things on my store. So that's one of the way. Of course, you can actually also use the messenger objective. Let's say if you can build a chatbot, you can actually use the messenger objective to really drive people to start conversation with you, and immediately you use the chatbot to give them a voucher to tell them that, look, this is the voucher that you can actually buy. Then the beauty of using the messenger chatbot is you're able to use the sponsored message to remind them instead in the future when you have any promotions and all that. So that's one of the route that you can do. So if you're trying to drive people to visit your retail shop or your F&B shop or anything with a physical location, try to think about, you know, not just getting people to come over, but give people a reason to come over to your store. I think that will be a more viable way to do this, right? So thanks for the question, TC. All right, now let's come back to this. Okay, what is that? What is that? So any tips? Okay, the Gamers Grow is asking, any tips on getting better with audience targeting? Getting better with audience targeting, I would say, I mean, there are a few angles to look at this. If you want to get better at audience targeting, it's not about us knowing better about Facebook advertising, because to be frank, you know that these are all the detailed targeting options available. These are all the things available. This is how you do the age group and all this kind of thing. But I would suggest that we grow our result. Let's say, for example, if you can grow the purchases on your website, and then from there, you create high quality lookalike audiences, or create a better creative, you know, in a way that actually qualifies the right intent. You see, there's one thing about you see, when it comes to Facebook advertising campaign, I always believe that there are three main pillars that makes a good Facebook ads campaign. So it has to be a campaign that is able to send the right message to the right people to get them to take the right action. Now, these three are the main things. So the audience targeting is just one of the pillars, but audience targeting can be affected by creative as well. You see, like put it this way, you know that you're targeting these people, but you're using the wrong creative, capturing the wrong intent, then it's going to fall apart. Like during my 6-day challenge, I have an example. Let's say, for example, you're selling, you're selling a bakery, let's say kitchenware. You want to sell a cake mold, all right? For example, you want to sell a cake mold. You say that this is my best cake mold in the whole world and the whole damn thing there, right? But your picture was, you know, the way you design your advertisement is that you use a very nice picture with a cake within the cake mold. And people will be actually paying attention on the cake instead of the cake mold. So when people click over, you probably will get people to say, you probably will get those people who are interested in the cake instead of the mold. That's why finding the right target audience can be also affected by the way you actually design your advertisement. And of course, the other thing here is that when you design the right ad, targeting the right audience, but you get them to take the wrong action, then it's going to fall apart as well. Like for example, if you design this ad, all you want is to really drive people to your website, but you use, you know, the wrong objectives, such as maybe engagement or video view, then you'll be actually looking at the wrong audiences. So basically, there are many angles, right? So that's what I think. In order to get better at audience targeting, you need to understand the fundamental of the three main pillars. And of course, my 2-step funnel framework is able to help you qualify the right audience and to really nurture them in the right way. So if you have not learned with me, I would strongly recommend that you join my 6-day challenge. All right, so yeah, so that's how we can actually learn together on this thing, right? Okay, and we have, Chiwai just signed up to my next 6DC. Thank you. See you on when are we going to start again? We're going to start on 15, right? If not mistaken. Yeah, we're going to start on 15. Thank you. Okay, then if we trim out, delete followers, is it better to perform when we run ads campaign? It's too much work. Probably if you only have a few thousand, then it's possible. But how do you know that this is the real one and which one is the wrong one? It's just unnecessary work, I think. That's not something that I will recommend you to do. Yeah, but I have not done anything trimming or deleting followers. But based on how I understand it, it's not as straightforward, but you can try. Okay. Yeah, but thanks. It's a very interesting scenario. Thank you for sharing. Shiva is saying, yes, it's on the 15th March. Yes, I remember that now because I have quite a number of trainings coming in this month. It's very exciting. Next month, March. March is crazy month for me, but I'm super excited about it, right? And okay, Summer was saying, do you prefer CBO or ABO for e-commerce? For everyone who knows Jason Gunn, I use my two-step funnel framework, and my two-step funnel framework favors ABO. I'm not a CBO person, for the record, because my method, my framework requires strict control on my budget distribution. Okay, so that's how we actually build our campaign. All right, I'm not a CBO person, Summer, but thanks for the question. Wait. Okay. Yeah, Summer also. What are the tips to improve the CTR for tier 2 ad? Because you have been using dynamic carousel ad for the past 2 months. Will CTR increase if I added a few more ad creative? Very difficult to say. When it comes to CTR issue, right? Usually there are two angles to look at this. If you have a poor CTR, when I say poor CTR, is let's say your CTR link click-through is below 1% consistently, and even at the lower part of below one, under, let's say 0.5%. So either the first thing is your creative is definitely crappy. If it's really consistently low CTR like that, the best way is really to keep on churning creative until you find a better CTR. Okay, the other angle to look at this is after you have been churning your creative and you still don't see anything coming up, then you want to investigate on the audiences. Are you qualifying the right intent? So that's the two questions that we'll be asking. All right, but thanks for the question. Summer, Chiwa was asking, how do you get into my GIC? My GIC you will be offered by the end of the 6-day challenge. No worries. So Chiwa, it's not for sale. Really, it's not for sale. I was just talking about this to my 6DC members just now, right? It's not for sale. You really have to go through the full learning with me. Then only you'll be able to, join my GIC. Okay, all right. Okay, another question coming from a Facebook user here said, I'm good, thanks. Okay, you actually gave me this website to your stock trading course. I'm not sure. I have not done this before, but I think if you follow everything, go back to the Facebook ads policy to see whether you're allowed to do this thing or not. So basically, I think for courses, it should be okay. Just that you have to be aware that, for whatever things that we do, we must actually follow the advertising policy. So very simple, go to Google, look for Facebook advertising policy. I think it's the same thing, right? So just read through to see if there's anything you can or can't do regarding what you do. Then you start putting up the advertisement to see whether you will get approved or disapproved. Basically, Facebook will also give you why it's not approved, what are the things that you can do in order to improvise that. So the best thing is learn, put it up, and learn further from there. But thanks for the question, right? Okay, now basically, let me see. Do I have more questions coming in? Okay, we have a JIC. Summer was asking about JIC. Summer, were you in my 6DC? Were you in my 6-day challenge? In fact, I don't talk about JIC openly out here, but fundamentally, because it's not for sale, okay? Because but fundamentally, JIC is my group coaching call, whereby every month, first and third Thursday of the month, okay, me and my community, okay, a bunch of people from all around the world will come together, okay, to actually learn from each other. So what I will be doing inside this 1 hour plus call is, it's a Zoom call by invitation only. Only the member will get to join. So what we do here is that, first, I will be giving them an update about what happened in the past few weeks about Facebook advertising, what can you do ahead and all that. And then after that, we will be taking questions. So you can ask any questions about Facebook advertising and beyond. And if you can fire up a screen, so that's the benefit of it. You can fire up a screen and I'll be giving you some okay, so this is something wrong. Okay, so let's tweak this thing. I'll be giving you constructive so-called things to do in order to improve your campaign. So that's the first thing. And then after that, you can also listen to other people's questions and learn from other people's case studies. We're not just talking about people from Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, where else? Quite a number of countries over here. So actually, we are learning about the regional. Okay, so what we will see is how are we doing over here? What are the things that we can do together? As in, it's a community. It's a very interesting community. So that's what we do. All right. So if you miss, because by the end of the 6DC, only the 6DC members will get to be offered to join the JIC. So if you miss that, I can't offer you anymore. The only way you can come in is you come back to the 6DC again and you go through the offer, because it's a very time-sensitive offer. We only open the JIC for less than 48 hours. So that's how we do it, because yeah, the combo is very interesting. Yeah, so that's what we do. Summer, thank you so much. All right, and Chiwa is asking, the GIC sounds so enticing, right? Yeah, it's exciting. I really love my community. That's all I have to say. We have quite a number of GIC members. Like last week, we have Eric, right, from Thailand. Eric, yeah, Eric is my GIC member, and often, on and off, we do have our GIC members joining us here as well. So yeah, okay. It's interesting when we talk about GICs inside this thing, right? Okay, now I want to quickly share with you one thing, okay, which is a few things. Like, okay, let me go back to my screen. Okay, the iOS 14 prompt has already started. I've seen this. Okay, meaning that this is really the iOS 14 update that everyone is talking about, whereby it is really going to impact Facebook advertising in quite a impactful way. So I have seen this. This is actually captured from my own phone, whereby it's already a prompt where Facebook is asking me whether I'm giving them the full access, as in to track every single thing. So iOS 14, in fact, the iOS 14 update, as in the prompt, the Apple prompt will start rolling out on the 14.5 update, as in iOS 14.5. But Facebook and Google and Apple didn't say when everything is going to roll out, but I would assume that it's going to be in March. So all the things that you need to do must be actually ready by now. So to actually help you understand the iOS 14 update, and what are the things that is going to be impacted, and what are the things that you can do to prepare yourself if you are running a website, if you are running campaign for your own website or your client's website. In fact, I've put together a course for you to learn this thing, which is I call this the iOS 14 update training. If you go to my website, go to other courses, let's see whether I can actually copy the link over here later, because I'm having this course. The class is going to be on the coming Tuesday, which is on the, I don't even remember the date, 2nd of March, okay, at 3:30 p.m., where I'm going to teach you, I'm going to share with you everything that I learned from the world as well as Facebook developer, because I actually attended a course, as in like a training with a Facebook developer. And I want to tell you what are the things that you need to do. And a few things on top of that. How do you verify your domain? How do you manage your event inside your event manager? How do you actually group your events together? And how do you actually set your event priority? And how do you actually rank it accordingly to make sure that your whole website, the event, the pixel, and everything is ready for the iOS 14 update? So that's the course that I already put up together. So if you want to learn about this thing, I would strongly recommend to go to do this right now. Wait, who is here? Okay, let me see. I wanted to bring you this thing. Tribe. Okay, tribe up. Okay, let me /iOS 14. So if you want to learn about iOS 14, right, this is the last chance for you to learn. Yeah. So if you want to learn about iOS 14, let me send it up the link. iOS 14 update training. It's here. Okay, so this is where you go in. iOS 14 update training. I can only post this on my YouTube. I can't post this on my, yeah, but let me actually do that. Oh, Penton, what's up, Penton? How are you, man? You're most welcome. We work together over here, right? So this is with my community, where I work with my community to learn together. GIC is the best deal. The digital run. Are you in my GIC? Welcome in. I didn't get to know your name. I always see the digital run. Who are you? Name yourself. Show yourself. Okay, guys. So this is the Ask Me Anything Sunday night show. In fact, the community is really coming together right now. And I really enjoy my half an hour session with you. So if you have any questions regarding Facebook advertising, remember to join me next week, because we're going to end this soon, right? If you have any more questions, I give you 1 more minute to type in the comment right now. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, this is the time. And yeah, Andrew, the iOS 14 is real. It's damn real. Oh, ST, what's up? Yeah, ST is ST is damn seasoned GIC member. You've been in there for how long? Now I know who you are, ST. Don't buy follower lah, bro. Come on, man. Don't buy follower. No good, no good. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so yeah. Right. So yeah, iOS 14 is really something that you must pay full attention because it's really something that is going to screw a lot of things. I'm still constructing my deck, updating final. I'm doing a lot of reading. I'm making sure that I want to give you the best, the most comprehensive explanation about what it is all about, using case studies and examples and all that, right? And I want to really, help you understand this and do this the right way and prepare you for the sort of whatever that is going to happen. All right, so yeah. Okay, then, nice work. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Share this channel to your friends. Remember to subscribe. Don't forget that, right? Thanks. And ST saying, clients indeed know. I think it's very difficult. If you're talking about buying followers and likes and all that, the more people you have, the harder it is to housekeep. I think one of my ex-students tried that. One of my students tried that, meaning that they had about 100 plus, and they can't, at the end of the day, they can't even recognize which one is real, which one is not. So I think that's the biggest challenge. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hey, thanks, Andrew. What's up? Okay. That's you. Okay. I think that's it. No more questions from you. Nothing much from me. Yeah. And if you want to join my iOS 14, I'll see you on I cannot remember, the 2nd of March, which is coming Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Once you sign up, you'll be invited to join a private Facebook group whereby, the whole class is going to be conducted inside. So we're going to learn this together. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, ST, by the way, have you actually signed up to the iOS 14? Because GIC member can join at $1. Sorry about the $1. I hope you don't mind to buy me half of, it's not even half of a coffee over here, but I'm testing a new mechanism. To see, because my card system has got some limitations over here. So yeah, come on in. All right, Summer, thanks for joining. Okay, so yeah, I'll see you guys on Tuesday regarding the iOS 14 update. And meanwhile, really thank you so much for tuning in, wherever it is. We have Penton, we have Andrew, we have Daniel, we have ST, we have TY as good old friend, and a lot of people. Thank you for tuning in. And I look forward to see you in the next week. Next Sunday, same time, 10 p.m. We're going to do this again. And prepare your questions. We're going to do this together, right? Okay, let me see. All right. Thanks, guys. Okay, I think that's it. I don't want to actually hold you longer because it's Sunday night. You got to rest. Tomorrow is another week. It's exciting. See you next week. Thanks. Bye.